pressure is called the silent killer. It is easy for one to have an elevated blood pressure for years but go without detecting it. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, more than 360,000 American deaths in 2013 included high blood pressure as the primary or contributing cause. Knowing how to take blood pressure is an essential skill for anyone with a career in the medical field. I learned how to take blood pressures my senior year of high school through a Career and Technical Academy course, which provided more hands-on learning than a regular classroom. I was able to take blood pressures of not only my classmates, but real patients in the hospital as well. Today, I will be talking about the three main aspects to taking a manual blood pressure: materials needed, terms to know, and, most importantly, the step-by-step process to taking a successful blood pressure. First, it is important to have the correct equipment to perform a manual blood pressure. The cuff looks like this and is the part that gets placed around the patient's arm. It is important to place it accurately in order to get a correct reading. The second piece of equipment needed is the attached pump, which looks like this. This is what allows the air into and out of the cuff by turning this knob here. A stethoscope is also required in order to hear when the heart is first beating and when you can no longer hear the beating sounds. This is where the two numbers in the equation come from. Lastly, a gauge, which looks like this, is needed in order to know at what numbers you can hear the heart beats and at what numbers you can no longer hear the beating sound. A piece of paper may also be helpful to write down the blood pressure once it is taken to be sure it isn't forgotten. The second topic we need to discuss are the terms to know when it comes to taking a blood pressure. Systolic and diastolic are both essential to comprehend before measuring pressure. The word systolic refers to the top number in the fraction when measuring a blood pressure. This measures the pressure in the arteries when the heart muscle is contracting, or, in other terms, when you first start hearing a heartbeat. Obviously, because systolic is the top number in the fraction, diastolic is the bottom number, which is also the lower of the two. This measures the pressure in the arteries between heartbeats when the heart muscle is resting, or when you can no longer hear a heartbeat. These terms may seem confusing at first, but it is important to remember systolic refers to the top number in the fraction, and diastolic refers to the bottom number in the fraction, when the heartbeat disappears. The last topic I will talk about today are the steps to taking a blood pressure. First, it is important to have all the materials needed prepared before you attempt to take a reading. According to MayoClinic.org, when placing a cuff around a patient's arm, it should be positioned about an inch above the elbow. It is important to place it tightly and tight enough in order to allow two fingertips into the top of the cuff. Next, the stethoscope should be placed on the ears. It is essential to note that the earpieces are placed forward or pointing towards the nose. This is so you will be able to get an accurate reading of the heartbeat. The patient can hold the gauge so it is visible for you, or, if you are taking your own blood pressure, hold the gauge in the open palm of the hand that is cuffed. After the gauge is placed, it is important to check the pump to be sure that it is closed. This can be done by twisting the top of the gauge until it is tight. Next, squeeze the pump until the cuff is fully inflated around the arm. When the gauge reads around 140, stop squeezing and slowly start to twist the knob to allow some air out. Note when you first hear the heartbeat. This is the systolic pressure, or the top number in the fraction. Note when you no longer hear the beating sounds. This is the diastolic pressure, or the bottom number in the fraction. The average blood pressure is around 120 over 80 millimeters of mercury, for a number to compare your reading to. Once all these steps are complete, record the blood pressure and tell it to the patient. Taking a blood pressure can seem like a daunting task at first. I know for me it was. But with a little bit of practice, it is an easy procedure to perform. For listening to the terms to know, to materials needed, to the step-by-step process of taking a blood pressure, one should be able to take an accurate pressure. It is a simple task to learn that could turn out to save you lives.